All right, guys, here we are out at Antelope Camp 2024. Shot a nice antelope today. He's not huge, but he'll do the job for what we came out to do, and let a couple days to hunt. So that's what we got. So we're going to show you today how to use the HIDELOK. We get a lot of questions about how much meat you have to remove, what you have to remove. Little stuff like this little piece here, this small piece, this thin piece of meat, it doesn't really have to be removed. A big chunk, something like this, that HIDELOK won't penetrate this. So I would tell you to remove that. Remove that chunk. Any big chunks of meat, you want to get them off of there. Anything that you don't think that HIDELOK's going to get in and penetrate or get around. So same goes up front here, right? So there's a big chunk here, another decent chunk here. Those ones I would try to get off. Those little thin layers of meat, you shouldn't have to much worry about. They should be, that stuff, that HIDELOK will penetrate those and get down into that hair follicle where it needs to be. So, and that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to penetrate that hair follicle. So anything that we need to spray, big chunks of stuff, this is what I'm talking about. There's a big heavy chunk right here. We'll go ahead and get that off. Big chunks, big chunks. This piece back here, so far back on the hide, I wouldn't even worry about that piece. That's not going to be an issue. So that essentially is what you want your hide to look like. That's all we need to do with it. Then we take our HIDELOK and we start spraying this thing. Where that stuff is, maybe hit it a couple times. I always cut a little bit extra hide. I have about halfway through the chest here from the antelope. So we just spray that down so it's got a good coating on it. It runs a little bit, you can see it moving. And then I like to rotate it around, get it to these, what I call wet membranes. So any wet membrane, this would be the nose, ears, eyes, eyelids. So you want to do the inside and outside of those. I like to do the inside first. So I'll flip them inside out and I saturate this stuff. So, and I want to reiterate, guys, we have a lot of guys that, I guess, criticism, but it's constructive criticism, you know, and they tell us there's no way that can protect a hide. We're not trying to tan hides out of this stuff, guys. We're trying to preserve it and keep it as natural as you can keep it until your taxidermist gets it. And the reason we're doing this is because 9 out of 10 people that know how to cape a deer, know how to cape an antelope, they don't know how to turn ears or split lips. So now we're going to do the outsides of these ears. So these ears have a nice cartilage membrane inside of them. So this is where your taxidermist is going to love this, because all of this stuff gets back to him in a natural state. Okay, this keeps it in a natural state, versus if you were to split all this stuff and salt it, then the taxidermist has to try to rehydrate it, or if it didn't get salted correctly, he has to try to rehydrate it, and there's just a lot of painstaking work involved in that. This stuff will absolutely keep all the bacteria at bay, and it'll kill any bugs that are in here. So that's it. I sprayed the inside, outside, in the nose, outside the nose, lips, ears, face, and eyes. All these wet membranes. And then I turn them just like this. I fold everything inside. And this goes against everything taxidermists will tell you. They tell you don't put it inside. We do this twofold. One, we do it to keep everything in there on the nose, ears, and eyes, all that product, so it doesn't run away. And number two, it doesn't allow any air or any bugs or anything to get to that portion of it. Okay, so we roll it up. I like to roll them up. Some people say fold them up. just my preference to roll them up. I roll them up just like that, and I put them in a plastic bag. Once they're in that plastic bag, they're sealed. You seal it up, you can keep it cool. You don't necessarily have to. I suggest that you do. The cooler the better, obviously, in everything we do, right? So that's it. Roll that thing up, put it in a plastic bag, put it in your ice chest, and it'll show up at your taxidermist just like the day you killed them. So that's our instructional for HIDELOK.